Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to recreate this makeup look that I'm wearing. I love the way this turned out. I was super excited to start incorporating some colors into my makeup looks. I love to throw in fun colors during the spring and summer because why not? And purple has been calling my name. I have a couple of new purple shades that I've been really wanting to play with. In particular, the one that I do mention in the video is this pigment from Colourpop. It's the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop pigment in the Archer, and it is such a stunning pigment. It has blues and greens and so many colors that show up in different lighting. But I have to mention that I wasn't super happy with how it turned out in this look because, as you guys will see later in the video, I lost my glitter glue, and I feel like glitter glue would just make it that much more stunning. So I did use a setting spray and it just didn't quite come through the way I wanted it to. So you may have to just kind of ignore the pigment part in this tutorial, and maybe I can come back and do another look using the pigment and really make it the star if you guys want to see that. So definitely let me know. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. If you guys want to see how I achieved this look, then let's go ahead and get started. So I did go ahead and apply my base today. I wanted to jump right into the eyes because the base can be a little bit repetitive as far as like watching me do it in every video. So today I'm wearing the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation and then my L'Oreal Concealer. It's the, what is it, the Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and then I just have a little bit of powder on to give me a nice base. So my eyes are primed with concealer and a little bit of setting powder so we can jump right into the eyes. I recently picked up a new eyeshadow palette that I have been wanting to play with here with you guys. This is the BH Cosmetics Hangin in Hawaii palette, and it was on sale one day at Ulta, so I picked it up for really cheap. I don't even remember how much it was, but it was under $20, and you get tons of beautiful shades here. You actually get 4, 8, 16, 24 shades, and it's got a lot of like peachy tones, some neutrals, and then a lot of like those beautiful foiled kind of pinky rose gold shades. So I'm going to be playing with this a little bit, and then I may dip into some other palettes as well. I'm not totally sure what I'm doing today, but we're just going to jump right in. So I'm going to start by taking the lightest transition shade here, and this is called xoxo, which is such a cute word. I did take this with me to Hawaii just this last week, and I really loved it. It was such a great palette. So this palette, it does have a lot of kickback, meaning when you stick your brush into the powder, you'll notice some powder kind of flies everywhere, but it doesn't have like a crazy amount of fallout. So they're still really great eyeshadows. The kickback doesn't really bother me at all. So I'm just going to start buffing this into my crease ever so slightly with the Morphe M505. This is my current favorite kind of crease blending brush. Super soft and fluffy. And so what I do is I start just inside the outer corner, and then I start doing little circular motions back and forth, and I even kind of buff it right onto the bottom lash line right there at the edge. And that's just going to create a really seamless blended crease for you. So we can really start building up the intensity of the color, and this will allow everything to have a nice gradual fade into the brow. And depending on how much space you have between your lid and your brows is how much you'll want to blow out your transition shade. So if you don't have a lot of space, you may want to be a little bit more precise, whereas I have a decent amount of space, so I can really kind of bring it up in there. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next shade, and I'm going to take this Morphe M433, which is a smaller, denser, natural hair brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Hibiscus, which is a really orangey shade right next to xoxo, and we're just going to pack that a little bit more deeply into the crease and not bring it up as high. And again, I like to start kind of right there on the outer corner, and then I work it in. Wherever you place your brush is where you're going to have the most pigment. So that's something to remember. You don't really want to be starting, I mean, unless you're going for that look, you don't want to be starting it like right here. You want to start right about there and then work it up. Okay, I think I am going to incorporate some purple into this look because it's just calling my name. So I'm going to start by taking this purple eyeshadow from the Jaclyn and Morphe Vault collection. This is the Bling Boss palette, and she has this beautiful deep purple shade here. It does have a little bit of it is technically a foiled shade. It doesn't really have glitter, but it does have a little bit of that like foiled sheen to it. And I'm going to start packing this. We're just going to start packing it on our lid. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, but we're going to start packing it. I may not bring it all the way into the inner corner. I might just bring it about halfway and then kind of softly buff it in. I don't really know what I'm doing with this like you guys. I'm winging it here. But this is such a beautiful purple shade. So I'm going to be taking the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop Loose Pigment in the shade The Archer. This is so beautiful. I was so excited to pick this up. I picked this one up as well as two other of the pigments that I can use in another video. I picked up the Maiden and Off the Charts. It's a purple shade with like an emerald undertone, so depending on how you look at it, there's blue, there's green, there's so many different colors that come to life, and it's recommended that you use like a glitter glue with this to get the most intensity, but I am missing my glitter glue. I have no idea where it went, so I'm going to use setting spray and hope that it still looks okay, but just know that a glitter glue would probably make it look even more intense. So I'm going to dip my brush into the pigment first, and a lot comes out, so be careful. And then I'm going to spritz it with my Morphe setting spray. So I have the shadow placed all over the lid at this point, and I'm going to start blending it out. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing quite the effect that I would like to with the setting spray. I really, really wish I had my glitter glue, but who knows where it is, so we're just gonna roll with it. I'm jumping back into the Hangin in Hawaii palette, and I'm gonna start using those transition shades to further blend out these edges. And this is where you want to be a little bit more precise, a little bit more careful. You don't want to be like going crazy, or you'll start to smear the purple in areas that you don't want it. So I'm just taking a little bit at a time and kind of softly working it into the crease. So now I'm jumping back into the Vault collection and grabbing this original purple shade we used in a smaller brush. This is the Morphe M507. And we're going to start just building up the purple just a little bit in our crease. And you can kind of like flick this edge out if you want, even just to kind of lift the eye. And then I take that fluffy brush again and just soften all the edges, just like so. I may have to do another look using the Archer and maybe going like a whole different route with different transition colors, because I really wanted you guys to see how beautiful it looks, but without my glitter glue, it's just not coming through. It's still beautiful, but you're not really getting all the green and the blue with the setting spray. So now we need to start making the lower lash line match our upper lash line. So I'm going to start with those two shades we started with here and start building the color. So I'm starting with the lightest shade, and the lightest shade will be the color that we smoke out the most, so that again we have that light to dark gradual fade. So now I'm picking up this Morphe pencil brush. This is the M431. So this is a really small tapered pencil brush that will get really close under that lash line. And I'm going to grab the purple shade from the Vault collection and start placing that right up against that lash line. I am going to spritz my brush a little bit with the Morphe setting spray just to intensify it a little bit so that it really matches the upper lash line. Does anyone else struggle with their lower lash line because you wear contacts and when you do your lower lash line the powder gets like all up in your eyes and then you're like, ah! Next, for my inner corner and brow bone highlight, I am taking the Elcie Jewel in the shade Pearl, and it's this beautiful bright pearlescent shade, and I actually like to take this right on the tip of my finger and then I just kind of place it right on the inner corner just like that. It's super bright, but we can blend it out just a little bit. Let me find my brush. So you can just take a small brush and just kind of pat the edges so it's not quite as intense. Just like that. So pretty. And then for the brow bone, I do like to take a brush and I just very carefully blend it right there in the top of the brow. Okay, so I went ahead and applied a little bit of winged liner. I did a super tiny wing, nothing too dramatic, and a quick coat of mascara. I'm not going to be wearing lashes today just because I don't typically wear lashes, and so I want to show you guys how I would wear it. But if you want to wear lashes, you definitely can throw some on and it would just make this look even more glamorous. So moving on to the face, we're going to go ahead and warm up the skin a little bit with some bronzer. I am using the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. So we're going to go ahead and just put this around the perimeter of the face to warm it up a little bit. I really have been liking this bronzer. It is so pretty and it's like super natural at the same time. Like, it's super hard to go overboard with this bronzer, but it's super pretty and it smells amazing. So I highly recommend this, and it is drugstore, so it's inexpensive. And I am doing just a tiny nose contour just to kind of bring the whole look together. I feel like if the face is contoured, you probably should hit the nose just a little bit. Now we're going to do blush, and for blush I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush. This is an oldie but a goodie in the shade Luminoso, and we're just going to pop that right on the cheeks. And this is super pigmented, so you really don't need a ton of product on your brush. So I just like to sweep that right there on the cheek. Since the eyes are pretty dramatic, I don't want the blush to be super dark. Just want to keep it more on the natural side, and this is such a pretty, healthy, glowy shade. And because this is such a glowy blush, you honestly could just leave it like that and not even do a highlight. You can see it just kind of creates a natural sheen on the cheek. But I am going to do just a little bit because I'm extra, and I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow in Precious Petals. And so I'm just going to take my favorite highlight brush. This is the Morphe M510, and just take a little bit of that right over that blush right there, just to intensify it a little bit. And then I always go on the nose a little bit, right above the brow. You can even put it on the brow, and Cupid's bow. Now I like to spray the face one final time with setting spray. And I don't have my bottom lash mascara on yet because I like to do this before I put my mascara on down there because it will smear and smudge. So I recommend setting before you do your bottom lash mascara, and then we will finish off with our lips. So for the lips, I'm going to keep them fairly natural because I don't like to do a super bold lip when I have a bold eye because I don't want them to compete. So I'm going to start with my NYX Natural Lip Liner. You guys are probably sick of me using this, but it's my favorite, and it works with so many different lip colors as well. So for the lip color, I am taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Touch Matte Lipstick. Is that the color? Oh, Soft Touch is the color. So it's a matte lipstick and it's in the shade Soft Touch. And I'm just going to throw that right in the center. And I do have a little bit of my Kopari lip glossy on still, not like a super heavy amount or this would not apply well, but I still have a little bit of residue just so it keeps my lips hydrated because this is a matte lipstick. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of this lip gloss. This is the Morphe Flower Crown Lip Gloss right in the center of the lip. So that completes this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, if you will please give me a thumbs up so I know you liked it, and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you never want to miss a video that I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.